I have spoken before on this channel about my concerns regarding dehumanizing language. Language that refers to other people in terms of animals or demons or something else that is less than what they are, which is human beings made in the image of God, deserving of dignity and respect. Well, now I want to talk about two related tropes that I hear a lot that concern me. And that is the assumption or the claim that those who disagree with us are less intelligent or less ethical than we are. That's simply not true. There are people of equal IQs on every side of a debate, if that's our measure of intelligence. There are people of equal education on various sides of any controversial topic. So it's simply not true that someone who thinks differently from myself is less intelligent. It is also simply not true that everyone who thinks differently than myself on a given issue is less ethical. No, see, here's what it does mean. What it does mean is that that person has decades of different experience from my own that has led him or her to think that way. So they've listened to different voices than I have, they've read different books, they've been brought up by different people in different subcultures, and they've learned to have varying priorities from my own, and they've learned to interpret data in different ways and to come to differing conclusions than what I have. Now, I may think that every voice they listened to along the way was saying things that were wrong, that were lies, or that were incorrect, or that were false misinterpretations of the data. I may think that whoever was discipling them, whether it was individuals or groups or media channels or certain types of reading and so forth, was wrong. I may think that the logic is faulty. I may think that the data is presented in a selective way that leads to a biased and incorrect interpretation. All of that may be true. So the person may still be wrong, and they may be dangerously, even fatally wrong. But that does not mean that they are less intelligent than I am, and it does not mean that they are less ethical than I am. So I like to try to remember that and maybe dig into the background, and sometimes learning their story, getting to know where they're coming from and what voices they've been listening to, can give me a starting place for understanding why they think something so radically different from myself.